Imagine pulling up to your own driveway, ready to pack up and start fresh, only to find 5 cop cars blocking you and like you're America's Most Wanted for planting a for sale sign. But when the dust settles and the real criminal gets hauled away in handcuffs, screaming denials, you realize some neighborhood tyrants build empires on lies that crumble spectacularly. In the sun-drenched suburbs of Willow Creek, Arizona, where manicured lawns stretched like green carpets under a relentless blue sky, Alex Thompson hammered the for sale sign into his front yard with a satisfying thud. After a messy divorce and years of whispers about his unstable behavior, rumors started by nosy neighbors who'd twisted his quiet grief into something sinister, he was finally ditching this pressure cooker of a community for a quiet condo in Phoenix. The sign stood tall, bold letters gleaming. But before Alex could even step back to admire it, a shadow fell across the grass. Helen Vargas, the HOA president, strode up from her pristine colonial next door, her sensible loafers clipping the sidewalk like tiny judgments, clipboard in hand, pearl necklace choking her neck. She fixed him with that saccharine smile that always hid a venomous bite. "Alex. Darling," she cooed, voice dripping with false concern. "You can't just slap that eyesore up without board approval. It's in the Visibility Covenant, Section 4.2. If you recall." Alex wiped sweat from his brow, keeping his tone even. He'd learned long ago that reacting fed her ego. "It's my house, Helen. I'm selling it. No covenant covers that." Her eyes narrowed, but the smile held. "Oh. But it does. We maintain standards here. What if your situation scares off quality buyers? We've all heard the stories." She leaned in, whispering like a confidant. "The drinking. The late-night arguments with no one there. We care about you, Alex." "Really?" He bit back a retort. The stories were her doing, gossip she'd seeded at block parties after his ex left, painting him as the volatile one to deflect from her own meddling. Instead, he shrugged. "Appreciate the concern, but I'm good." Helen's jaw ticked, and she pivoted away, muttering about community harmony under her breath. Alex watched her go, feeling the familiar knot in his gut. This wasn't over. Helen ruled Willow Creek like a petty queen, enforcing rules that turned paradise into a panopticon. By evening, as the golden hour bathed the cul-de-sac in warm light, Alex loaded boxes into his garage, the air thick with the scent of fresh-cut grass from obligatory evening mows. That's when the siren started, distant at first, then blaring as 5 patrol cars screeched into the street, lights flashing like a bad action movie. Officers spilled out, hands on holsters, forming a semicircle around his driveway. Alex froze, hands raised instinctively. "Whoa! Officers! What's going on?" The lead cop, a burly guy with a mustache that screamed authority, eyed him warily. "Report of a domestic disturbance. Suspect fleeing with possible contraband." "You Alex Thompson?" Alex's mind raced. "Contraband?" He glanced across the street and there she was, Helen, phone in hand, waving dramatically from her porch. "That's him. He's been erratic all day, threatening to abandon the neighborhood without settling violations. I feared for my safety, and the children's." Alex almost snorted. Threatening? He'd barely spoken to her. But the cops weren't laughing, they patted him down, scanned the yard with flashlights. "Ma'am," one officer called to Helen. "What exactly did he say?" She clutched her pearls, voice quivering theatrically. "He said he'd do whatever it takes to leave. With all the rumors about his issues." I couldn't risk it. The irony burned, her lies now weaponized against him. Alex stayed calm, explaining the sale. But inside, he cataloged every detail, her smug grin. The unnecessary show of force. This was Helen's power play. Pure and absurd. The standoff dragged on for 20 tense minutes. Neighbors peeking from curtains. Until the cops realized it was bogus. False alarm, the lead muttered, shooting Helen a side eye. As they peeled out, she retreated inside. But not before flashing Alex a victorious smirk. He didn't react, yet. Instead, he snapped photos of the tire marks on his lawn. Noting the time. Patience. He reminded himself. Helen's mask was slipping. And he was watching. The next morning, Alex sipped coffee on his porch. The neighborhood humming with the false piece of sprinkler systems clicking in unison. That's when he spotted the neon pink violation notice taped to his mailbox, $250 fine for unauthorized signage disrupting aesthetic uniformity. He ripped it off, chuckling bitterly at the absurdity, his own sale sign. On his own property. But then a neighbor. Old Mr. Patel from 2 doors down. Shuffled over. Glancing nervously at Helen's house. She's at it again. Huh. Saw her snapping pics at Dom like a spy. Alex nodded. Ever happened to you? Patel hesitated. Then whispered. Couple years back. The Johnsons tried selling. Bam, fines for faded shutters, irregular mulch. Buyers bailed. And Helen's cousin snapped it up cheap. Alex's ears perked. Cousin? Patel nodded. She's got a network. Keeps undesirables out. Pads her influence. But fight back? She'll ruin you. Alex thanked him. Mind-whirring. This wasn't random, it was a racket. He dialed his lawyer buddy. Mia Reyes. Spilling the details. Ridiculous, Mia scoffed over the phone. Send me your deed and HOA docs. If she's overreaching boundaries, we can nail her. Alex emailed everything. Then spotted another envelope in his mailbox, no stamp. Just his name and Helen's prim script. Inside, reminder, unresolved violations may delay property transfer. Settle with the board for a smooth exit. Threat veiled as advice. Across the street, Helen watched from her window, waving cheerily. Alex waved back, smiling wider. Game on, he muttered. By afternoon, Mia called back. Excitement crackling. Jackpot. Alex. Your lot's on the edge, original HOA map excludes it. Helen's been using a doctored version to claim jurisdiction. Alex's pulse quickened. So she's fraudulently fining me? And others. Document everything, we're building a takedown. Energized. Alex photographed the notices. Then confronted Helen casually as she inspected sidewalks. Hey. Helen. About these fines, my property's not even in the HOA. Right? Her polite facade cracked for a split second, eyes widening in panic before smoothing over. Nonsense. Dear. The board expanded fairly. She adjusted her pearls. Voice syrupy. We're all in this together for order. Alex pressed lightly. Sarcastically. Order like calling 5 cops on a guy packing boxes? Real neighborly. She bristled. I was protecting the community from your instability. Rumors don't lie. He laughed softly. Rumors you started. Funny how that works. She spun away. But her steps were hurried. Lopsided, ridiculous in her power suit. That evening, Escalation hit like a bad joke. A burly guy in a cheap HOA enforcement vest parked a van blocking Alex's driveway. Camera in hand. "Name's Kurt," he grunted, snapping pics of Alex's garage. "President Vargas sent me to monitor compliance." Alex eyed the fake badge. "Compliance for what? Breathing?" Kurt smirked. "Unresolved issues. Can't leave till cleared." Alex documented it all. "Phone out. Move the van, buddy." Kurt leaned in, breath reeking of coffee. "Or what?" "Helen says you're trouble, unstable type. Best cooperate." Neighbors whispered from afar. But no one intervened. Alex retreated inside. Texting Mia, now she's got a goon. Mia replied, "Overreach gold. Keep calm." But the dark humor hit when Kurt yelled through the window. "Hey! Heard about your ex? No wonder she left, crazy don't sell houses." Alex gripped the counter, laughing through gritted teeth. Helen's puppets were as absurd as her rules. The pressure cooker simmered hotter the next day. Alex woke to find his water shut off, valve tampered with. A new violation notice citing suspected leak violations. He fixed it himself. But then his realtor called, "Buyers out, anonymous tip about toxic mold and owner instability." Sorry. Alex's blood boiled. But he pieced it together, forged warnings. Just like Patel said. He gathered emails from neighbors who'd quietly forwarded Helen's smear campaigns. "Alex Thompson, a risk to our safe haven, twisting his divorce into danger." Confronting Kurt, who still blocked the drive. Alex said coolly, "Tell Helen her games are up. My lot's not hers." Kurt laughed. "She owns this block. Pal. Surrender or suffer." But a young couple from down the street slipped him a USB drive later, Helen's emails, proof she's rigging sales for kickbacks. Alex reviewed it, messages to her cousin about lowball offers on problem properties. Irony peaked, Helen's moral crusade was pure greed. Mia arrived that afternoon, docs in hand. "We've got fraud, Dr. Maps. Illegal fines. Harassment." They called the sheriff's office, reporting the sabotage. As dusk fell, Helen marched over, face flushed with feigned outrage. "What's this about police? You're the unstable one." Alex smiled. Funny. Coming from the queen of fake emergencies. Her confidence wavered, eyes darting. "I maintain order." Mia interjected sharply, "With lies? Your empire's crumbling." Helen. Sirens wailed again that night, not 5 cars, but 2. Responding to Alex's call. Helen watched from her porch. Smug at first. See? He's causing trouble. But when officers questioned her about the shut-off valve and forgeries, her politeness shattered. "This is my community. He can't just leave without my say." The lead cop raised a brow. "Ma'am, boundaries say otherwise." Helen's face twisted, shock mixing with panic, as they cuffed Kurt for trespassing. "Wait. He's enforcement," she shrieked. Alex couldn't help a dark chuckle. "Enforcement of what? Your delusions." The climax exploded the following morning at the community center, where Mia presented evidence to a packed HOA meeting turned investigation. Neighbors gasped as Dr. Maps flashed on screen, Helen's signature forged. Fees siphoned for personal expenses. Helen stood, pearls clutched, voice rising hysterically. "I did it for you all. Without rules. Chaos." But when Alex's son, Ryan, a cop off duty, visiting the help pack, stepped forward, badge gleaming, the room hushed. "Ma'am," Ryan said evenly. "That false call last night? Endangering lives for control? That's criminal. Helen's eyes bulged. Confidence evaporating into hoarseness. You're his son. But the rumors. Ryan cuffed her mid-sentence. Rumors you spread. Game over. She wailed as they let her out. Neighbors applauding quietly, the absurdity of her downfall a collective exhale. This isn't fair. I was protecting standards. In the aftermath, the HOA dissolved amid audits. Fines refunded. Helen facing charges for fraud and false reporting. Alex sold his house smoothly, moving to Phoenix with Ryan's help. The neighborhood breathed freer. Whispers turning to thanks. Alex stood in his empty driveway one last time. Sign gone. Feeling the weight lift. Justice wasn't flashy, it was Helen's empire reduced to handcuffs and regret. But here's the kicker, was Helen the real villain? Or just a product of a system that lets petty tyrants rule with clipboards and smiles? You tell me, was her order worth the chaos she caused? Or did Alex deserve every bit of that sweet reversal?